after the way the opener ended, just how enjoyable was it, I guess, to hit those 2 shots down the stretch and be able to pull this one out?
I mean, there were many possessions beforehand that we, had that were pretty empty. We allowed them to get to certain plays down the stretch, and they played off their momentum and their physicality. The game was slowed down probably in the third and fourth quarter a little bit with, just the way the fouls were going back and forth, or, fouls here and there and bonus. So just wanted to play through it. And like I said, there's opportunities for us to get better from those empty possessions that we had. But, you forget about the other night. You got to move on. It's the luxury of, playing every other night or back-to-backs or something like that. 2 down, 80 more to go.
This is already a city rivalry. I think it adds a little more fire to the rivalry, the fact that you're playing here and not in MSG.
What do you mean?
Well, the Knicks wanted to go out, right? And you're playing here. Do you think it adds a little more fire to the rivalry that you're playing here?
What rivalry?
Knicks and Nets.
I mean, I was more like a subway rivalry back when I was, when they played for New Jersey. But now that they're in Brooklyn, now it's like a battle for who runs New York City. I don't know. I'm not part of that. It's a good team down there in New York City, Manhattan. I think it's more or less the perspective of the fans that really build that up than the players. We all have a mutual respect, but obviously when they're both in New York, I guess it's like who's our I guess it's like I guess it's supposed to be like a rivalry atmosphere. I don't know, but I grew up, watching the Nets and Knicks play, and when the Nets used to go to MSG, I think that was more of an emphasis on that. But now, I think the Nets are having to be in Brooklyn. Just makes it a lot more fun. Go out there, hear the boos, see the Knicks fans out there. It's all good.
Considering when you consider that a lot of the local teams aren't at their apex, and considering where you guys think you can get to, do you guys have an opportunity, I suppose, to kind of boost your standing in the New York City landscape?
Can we talk about the game, please? Can we ask questions about the game?
Have you played in an atmosphere like that, Kyrie, in that fourth quarter where the visiting team is making a run and the crowd is kind of that loud?
Yeah, no, there were probably like 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, and I had to get my kind of emotions to a poised state. We had some empty possessions where I threw up some kind of wild shots, or it was a turnover, or it was a foul. So I just had to, bring in the guys, just tell them to calm down. We just had to get 3 solid possessions, offensively and defensively. And down the stretch, I feel like we made some big-time plays with the spacing, understanding where we were, getting a defensive rebound, and making sure that it was secured. And we came out with this win.
Calm you down also, because you were struggling shooting before that. In the last couple minutes, you turned it on.
That's just the tale of the game. If I'm not shooting it down the stretch, then I don't think I'm really living up to what I work every day to be able to accomplish, and that's to come down the stretch, make good plays. But it's just my number to be called to really put an impact on the game down the stretch, then you got to shoot them.
The last one, was that set up to be a 3, or is that just what you took?
That's what I took. I down the stretch, when you get into possessions like that, and I think it's a 1 or 2 point game, a 3-pointer really gives you just a little bit more breathing room, especially when you can go up 2 after they make some really big plays and the crowd's into it. You hit 1, you're down 4, and then you end up just trying to just be in the right spot. And I got to my spot and raised up, and like I said, grateful that I made it.
Why is it important for you? You looked at the moment with RJ during the game. What did you see from him, and why is it important to you to kind of continue to chat with him, to maybe mentor him a little bit?
The brotherhood is real for us when we come out of college, or how many years we're removed. Duke is turning into one of those programs where we have a lot of talented players coming through, and they have the talent, they have the mental aptitude to be able to transition their game into the league. They get drafted pretty high. I just want to make sure that they understand that I'm here for them, obviously outside of the competitive field, but you're going to have instances in the NBA game where, you know, you see one of your Duke brothers or, you know, someone you went to college with and you know, just gonna ask you some questions. I've been in the league going on my 9th year now, so seeing RJ be so young and be so poised and really just play fearlessly is you know, it's great. You know, coach really prepared him for it, and like I said, I'm gonna see him, you know, for a few more years in the league, and just told him just to stay calm, and I'm always here, you know. But obviously, we obviously want to kick each other's butts on the court, and that's the way it should be.
Kyrie, do you sense that this team has to learn to play with the pressure of bigger expectations?
I mean, that's just where we are when you have the caliber of players coming in, and then obviously the expectations that are put on the team. You know, it's just a difference in terms of where they were a few years of, you know, being solid, you know, making the playoffs in the 8th seed, and now we have these caliber of players, and there are just a lot of teaching moments for us to really take ourselves to the next level. As individuals, we're pretty good, but as a team, obviously we just have to stay patient with one another and just build it, you know, step by step. It's no rush, you know, like 80 games left, like 80. So you just take them one at a time and don't get too high or too low, and just really enjoy playing with your brothers out there.
Kyrie, you said after the opener that you were grateful to have teammates who were ready to protect you from anything and everything. Did Torian exemplify that to you tonight during that little scuffle there?
I mean, you know, things are going to happen in the basketball game. Obviously, emotions are going to get the best of you. Bobby was trying to take the ball away from me. I wasn't going to let him take it. So, you know, Torian came over, just, you know, guys were about to step over on me, and I appreciate that, but obviously you don't want to put yourself in that position where the other team gets a free throw or anything like that. You just be smart, but when that warrants and when that moment warranted him coming over, you know, obviously you appreciate it. You know, obviously I'm standing up next to all the guys like we're in basketball, we're not outside, like we're not playing in the park, like we're in an NBA basketball game, so just let it all go. Emotions, let the rest do what they do, and then we move on. So, like I said, but I appreciate TP standing up for me.
Kyrie, did we see you throwing the ball to Fat Joe toward the end there?
Oh, yeah, that's just a friend of mine. So, you know, he came into Brooklyn wearing his Knicks jacket. I know he's been a long-time Knicks fan, and I saw him in the summertime, and he put an Instagram post up. So it was just back and forth fun, and, you know, we're all one big family over at The Rock. So, you know, it's just love.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.